Good morning children. I hope you all are keeping safe at your places. This is Jyoti Nahar welcoming you all to the online class of video lecture of class 6, and the chapter that we are going to do today is chapter number 12, electricity and circuits. So children, open up your books to page number 168 and we'll start with chapter number 12, electricity and circuits. In our video part 1, we have already discussed the topics electric current, internal structure of an electric cell, internal structure of an electric torch, and now in this video, that is video part 2, we will cover up the topics how to make an electric bulb glow, how to make an electric circuit, how to construct an electric switch, and the differences between an electric conductor and an insulator. So let us start with our first topic, that is how to make an electric bulb glow. This topic you will find on page number 171 children. Okay, so let's start. So children, we have discussed the internal structure of a bulb, and that I have told you that the bulb glows when we pass the current through the filament of the bulb. This is the most important part of the bulb. Now, how to connect the bulb so that it glows? How can we make a bulb glow? If we want that our bulb glows, that we should connect it to a cell, and how to connect this? It should be a proper way. We need to connect the terminals of the cell to the terminals of the bulb in a proper way so that it makes a complete loop. Means the terminals of the bulb should be connected to any of the terminal of the terminal of the cell should be connected to any of the terminal of the bulb, and the other one of the bulb should be connected to the next terminal, the other terminal of the cell. The terminals of the bulb may differ, but the current, like you have the current flowing from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. What is the direction of the current flow? It is from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. But the connections means the terminals should be connected in a proper way. In this picture here you can see that the terminals are not connected, means the wire which is connected to the bulb and the wire which is connected to the cell, they are not interconnected. So here it is not forming a complete loop. In this case the bulb will not glow. Same case here in C position, again the bulb will not glow. In this position D, this is again a wrong connection, because we have connected both the wires to the same terminal of the cell. In this case again the bulb will not glow. Same process in picture, and in F the connection is made proper. Whether we have connected it to the negative or the positive, it doesn't matter, but one terminal of the cell is connected to one terminal of the bulb and the other one of the cell to the other terminal of the bulb. In this case the bulb glows out. So here students, you understood how we have to make the connection to make the bulb glow. Now coming up to our topic, electric circuit. Now what is electric circuit? The path made for electric current to flow is known as electric circuit. Like we have connected a cell and a bulb, and the path through which the electric current is flowing, this path is known as the electric circuit. Now let us understand it like this. Here children, I have a cell and here this is the positive terminal of the cell, this is the negative terminal of the cell. And if I connect it to a bulb, this is my bulb. If I connect it in such a way that this positive terminal is connected to this end of the bulb and this negative terminal is connected to the tip of the bulb, in this case the bulb will glow out. As you can see, this is the structure of a bulb. In this case the bulb will glow out because it is forming a complete loop. This type of circuit in which the components, these are the components, the bulb, the cell, these are the components of the circuit. If the components of the circuit, they completely form a complete connection or the loop is complete, in this case we call it a closed circuit. Means it is in a closed way, the circle is closed. Now if in this case, if I bring out, if I break the connection of the wires, now if the connection is broken, we call it this type of connection which is not closed, it is not connected, the terminals of the bulb, they are not connected to the terminals of the cell. In this case we call it an open circuit. What is it? It is called an open circuit. It may be open from this side, or if it is not connected to the terminals of the bulb, then too we call it an open circuit. In this case the bulb will not glow. In this case you will find that the bulb will not glow. So to make the bulb glow, we need to have a closed circuit, a closed loop, so that the current passes and the direction of the current is from positive terminal to the negative terminal. This is the path or the direction of the electric current, that it always flows from a positive terminal to a negative terminal. So now let's come back to our book. Here we have studied about the open circuit, this here we have done that the open circuit in which the loop is not connected, means the terminals are not connected, and a closed circuit in which the loop is connected. Now in other words, we can say if we want to make the bulb glow, we need to have a closed circuit, as well as the filament should be not broken. Here you can see the bulb is not glowing. In this case the filament of the bulb is broken. Then too we have the loop is not complete, means it is not a closed path, so the bulb will not glow. So here we have in science bits, children, see, an electric bulb is filled with an inert gas. In this gas, in this bulb, as we have done in our previous video, I have shown you that in the bulb an inactive gas is filled, so that when the current passes through the filament, the bulb or the filament gets so heated up, and the inactive gases which are present in the bulb, they do not allow it to burn out, or this filament does not burn when it gets so hot because of the inactive gases which are present in the bulb. And this filament is made up of tungsten. This tungsten is a metal which has a very high melting point, so that when the current passes through it, it does not melt. Now coming to our next topic, electric switch. Now as we have made the path complete to let the bulb glow, but do you think it will glow all the time? No, we need to switch it on and off according to our need. So what do we need to make the circuit complete and incomplete, or to switch it on and off? We need an electric switch. So a switch is an device which helps controlling the flow of electricity. The flow of electricity can be stopped or can be started by using a switch. It works by making or breaking the circuit. Now, like children, we can make a switch by ourselves. Here you have a simple activity how to make a simple switch. For this you need 2 drawing pins, a safety pin, a small sheet of thermocol and 3 pieces of wire. Now you can make a switch yourself by connecting these 2 wires to the drawing pins, and a safety pin is attached in between. This can be connected to a bulb, or we can use a cell and a bulb in this circuit to make a complete circuit. Now this safety pin can be used as a switch. If we remove the safety pin from the drawing pins, or if we do not connect it to the drawing pins, the bulb will not glow because the complete path is not available. Then if we connect this safety pin to the drawing pin, the path will be complete and we can have the bulb glowing. So this safety pin will act as an electric switch. So children, you must have seen switches of different shapes and sizes. They work on the principle that when we off the switch, the circuit is open, and when we on the switch, the circuit becomes closed and our electric appliances, they start working. And the electric switches, they are made up of some part of this electric switch is made of metals that they conduct electricity, and some of it they are made up of plastic or some other metal or material which do not conduct electricity, so that we do not get electric shocks. What are these materials which do not conduct electricity, or if they conduct electricity, what are they called? Let us understand this by using a simple video. Now children, we are going to study about conductors and insulators. What are these conductors and what are insulators? Let us do it with the help of a video. See, you use many appliances in our house in our daily life. These appliances, they need proper repair and proper maintenance. Now you must have seen, while the process of repairing is going on, you must have seen that the wires which are used in the electric circuits, these wires if you have noticed, they are made up of metals like copper and aluminum, and the upper part of the wires, it is made up of rubber. Now can you guess why this is so, that the wires are made up of aluminum or copper and the other part which we touch is made up of rubber? Let us understand this. The part which is made up of metals, it conducts electricity. Like the part which is made up of copper, these wires, they are made up of copper because they conduct electricity, and the rest of it is covered by a thick coating of plastic or rubber, and this plastic or rubber does not conduct electricity, and so we are easily able to hold the wire and it doesn't give us shock even. Now this is a reason why the rubber and plastic covering, it prevents electrical shocks. Now the materials which allow electric current to pass through them are called as conductors. What are conductors? Conductors are the materials which allow electric current to pass through them. Like the examples of conductors are copper, aluminum, iron, silver and gold. These are the metals which conduct electricity, they allow electricity to flow through them very easily. So you can see that the materials which allow electric current to pass through them are called as conductors. Now, the materials which do not allow electric current to pass through them are known as insulators. So, what are insulators? Insulators are the materials which do not allow electric current to pass through them. They do not allow the electric current to flow through them. Like the examples of insulators are rubber, plastic, glass, ebonite and porcelain. But how will you make out whether the substance or the material that you are given is an insulator or a conductor? How will you make it out, or how will you show that it is an conductor or an insulator? Let's do a simple experiment. We are going to perform a simple activity just to show how whether the appliance or the substance which is given, the material which is given is an insulator or a conductor. For that we need a simple circuit of like this. We have connected the wires to two cells. A bulb is there which will glow when the conductor is attached to it, and it will not glow if the insulator is attached to it. We have the two open ends of the wires. In this, these two wires will be connected to the material which we want to test whether it is an insulator or a conductor. Now, we are going to take this bulb will glow when these two wires are connected to the different items. We are going to take the different materials like plastic bottle, rubber, aluminium, paper and a copper bowl, and we will test whether these are conductors or insulators. For this we need to take them one by one and connect to the two terminals of the wires. First we are going to take the plastic bottle, and if we connect it to the two terminals of the wires, what do you observe? You will observe that the bulb is not glowing. This shows that electric current is not passing through the bottle, and thus this bottle is an insulator. Now, if we take the rubber, this rubber if is taken and if we connect it to the two terminals of the wires, again we see the same thing, that the bulb does not glow. This shows that this is rubber is again an insulator because it is not allowing the electric current to pass through it. Now, next if we take the bowl, the copper bowl, then if we attach it to the two terminals, then we see that the bulb glows. In this case, we can say that the electric current is passing through the copper bowl, and thus this copper bowl is acting as an conductor. This is a conductor which is conducting electricity, which is allowing electric current to pass through it. So, students, you understood what are conductors and what are insulators. Now, our human body, this is also a good conductor of electricity. So, we must be precautious while using electrical devices or electrical appliances. When they are handled, they should be handled with care. We should take proper care while we are using them. Now, both the conductors and insulators, they are important for us because the part of the electrical devices which conducts electricity is made of conductors, while the part which is used by us for holding the appliance, that is made of insulators, so that we do not get the electric shock when we are using them. So, this is a very good use of conductors and insulators. So, children, you saw how the conductors and insulators, they are also useful to us. So, this is all about the chapter, students. We have completed all the topics of our chapter. Now, for complete perfection, you need to go through the previous video as well as read the book properly. Now children, I am going to tell you the internal questions of this chapter. So children, our first internal question that is taken from page number 178. Question number G, third part. Name 3 materials that are conductors of electricity. We have discussed the conductors just now. So what are the 3 conductors? You can write the answer: copper, silver and aluminum, and you can write this answer on page number 174 children. Here you have the different conductors that are copper, silver and aluminum. The second question is again taken from the same page. Question number 4. Name 3 materials that are insulators of electricity. Same thing, the same page 174, you are going to find the answer. The examples of insulators are wood, plastic and rubber. And the third internal question that we get from page number 178 again, it is: what do you mean when it is said that an electric circuit is open? What do you mean by the electric circuit open? You can find the answer on page number 172. The answer is: the path for current flow is broken. If the path is broken, we call it open. The electric circuit is open if the path for current flow is broken or incomplete. So children, you need to write the internal questions in your book and do the book work as well, and the copy work will be also provided to you through the PDF. So you need to do that in a very beautiful and neat handwriting. Thank you children.